All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. I don't have anybody in the class yet, but I'm going to talk about a few things that we need to make sure that we're all aware of. I'm going to record this, so if you miss it, if you tried to get in and you weren't able to because I was recording or I didn't notice when you came in, I'm going to let you watch the video. I am very sorry that I have been gone this long. I will help you today. I will help you Thursday, and next Tuesday. We'll be online next Tuesday, one last time before you take the reading section next Thursday. Next Thursday is October the 20th, right? Today is the 11th. So next week, next Thursday is your day to take reading. I sent this same thing in the Remind group. So print it if you need to print it. If not, just show it on your phone so that they know it's you. There's several very, very important parts of this. You need to arrive at 8:45, and I noted that over here. Arrive, let me highlight that just so you can see it. Arrive by 8:45. They want to start reading the directions at 9 o'clock. So at the latest 8:45, I highly suggest you go ahead and put in your GPS the next couple mornings what time you need to leave if you have to go to this address, or when you have to go to this address next Thursday, because you need to do it early in the morning. I would say do it at like 7 o'clock. Hang on just a second. I'm going to let somebody in. I think you're already in. Angel, can you hear me? Angel is getting in, right? Angel, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Sorry. I just was kind of going over it. I'm going to start with the recording. I've already started it, but I'm just going over a few things to make sure we're all on the same page for next week. Next Thursday is the test. We need to be there by 8:45 at the latest. You don't necessarily need to print this, but you do need to have it handy on your phone. You may want to screenshot it just so you can show them that you are who you are, or at least you have reason to be there. Couple of other things. Do your GPS this week about the same time that you think you might want to leave. Maybe do it at 7:15. I don't know how far away you live from the address, but go ahead and see how early you need to leave based on traffic. All right. They want to start reading the directions at 9 o'clock. So absolutely make sure you're there by 8:45 at the latest. It's going to take a certain amount of check-in time. The next things to remember are that you have to have an ID, a physical ID. It cannot be a picture of it. People tried to do that last time and they turned them away. You have to have a picture, the real deal of a picture ID. They have to be able to hold it. You can use a passport.
What if you don't have? What if you don't have one?
Well, do you have a passport or a driver's license?
No.
Do you have a work visa?
No.
Okay. What we can probably do. Will you send me a message in the Remind about that? And I'm going to ask if we can get special permission. Can you send me a picture of yourself as well?
Okay.
Okay, let me do that. And I'm going to let me see what I can circumvent on that part, because that's a good question. You don't have an old school ID or anything like that?
I do have a high school ID.
There you go. Does it have your name on it?
Yeah, it has my name, but it's from Texas. Does that count?
I'm gonna say it'll be good. Send me a picture of that along with a message on Remind, and I'm gonna send that to them and say that's all you've got. Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you know if that works, but it should. I would think so. All right. So you're not working here in Florida yet?
No.
Okay.
I've been doing my own thing.
So. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I just want to make sure there's no other way to do that. Okay, that's fine. Got it. I'll let you know if that's a problem, but it shouldn't be. All right, so send me that and we should be good. The reading section, just like I highlighted it in there, is 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's normally 35 minutes. So you're going to have 3 times the amount of time. So that we should be good to go for next week. I'll be back with you again next Tuesday online. But then on Thursday of this week, I'm going to do a test for 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'm going to have a new test that you've never seen before. And we are going to work that. You're going to work that whole test, and then we'll score it and see how you do in real world time. You don't technically get a break during this, not normally. I mean, it may be something different that I don't know about, but in the past, they have not given us a break. But on what is that, 1 hour and 45 minutes is a long time. I would say take a little break, maybe after 2 passages, and go to the bathroom. Even if you don't go to the bathroom, just kind of walk out for a few minutes, breathe some air, grab your snack, maybe have some of your drink. You can have water with you. But I would absolutely say that you need to have some kind of little brain break. They may decide to give you one, since there's so many of you that'll be taking, they may kind of push that through, and that's fine if they do. Let us share the screen. Were you able to print out the form of the passage that I sent?
You mean the one from
It
the one that
starts,
has prose fiction or something?
yes, it says prose fiction. It starts, this passage is adapted from Joseph Conrad's The Heart of Darkness. Let me share my screen. If not, you can just watch me on the screen today, or I did
Okay.
send it on the remind. Let me turn this back. Okay, I did share it on the remind. If you want to open that up and just listen, I don't know if you're able to do that, or either you can just watch along as I go today. Let me ask this, since it's just you right now, is this the most helpful for us to work through one together? Or do you have another idea about what may be more efficient for you to help you?
Not. I don't think anything that comes to mind. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, that's what I plan to do, is just work one with you, and then I'll let you work the others. So if you don't have it printed, which is fine, you can still work it, from your phone, or if you got a computer or something, you can do that, or either work one in the book that we haven't worked.
Okay.
I've just kind of lost track of which book I was using and which stories we've had, since I've literally lived in 3 places in the last 3 months or 2 months. I'm not sure which ones we've done and not, and I know I repeated one, and that was why. So I'm just going to start with this one, prose fiction. You can see what I'm writing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we know we're not going to read those directions, and we know we're going to write down the time. So if they start reading directions about 9 o'clock, you're probably, let's just call it 9:20. Probably that's about how long. They probably are going to already have some labels on there, so you're not going to have to bubble in a whole lot. I don't think it'll take an enormous amount of time, but whatever time it starts is when it starts. Now, I think I've already told you guys several times, about 26 minutes is what you want. So that would be at 9:46. That would be our stop time. Please bring a watch that day so you can keep up with that. If you see yourself going, say, 5 minutes over that, then you want to just pick an answer and move on. All right. This is not much of an introduction. This passage is adapted from Joseph Conrad, sorry, and I do not recognize that name. The Heart of Darkness, 1899. That's one of those that I say, remember, they didn't even have an outhouse. They didn't even have a bathroom in the house at this point in time. This would definitely be a very, very old one. So some of the language may be more difficult for us to understand. The slang or the way they spoke may be different, but we definitely know there were not machines. There were not tractors. There may be some makeshift kind of pull behind a horse. They did not have cars. This was a long, long time ago, 100 and pushing 50 years, right? 130 years for sure. It's 99, so it's 120 something years. All right, Nellie. All right, I do notice right off the bat, there's one short paragraph. I'm going to mark it. The Nellie, a cruising ship. So I may underline that the Nellie is a ship. swung to her anchor without flutter of sails, and was at rest. The tide had come in, and the wind was nearly calm and being bound down the river. The only thing for a ship was to come to wait for the turn of the tide. Okay, so probably this is on the ocean, right? A cruising ship. We still don't know where. I don't know enough about this. There's this boat, big boat, cruising ship. So I'm going to read the second paragraph. The director of the companies was our captain and our host. Okay, captain and the host. So somebody probably is not working on the ship that's writing this. We affectionately watched his back as he stood in the bow, looking toward the sea. On the whole river, there was nothing that looked half so nautical. He resembled a pilot, which to a seaman is trustworthiness personified. It was difficult to realize his work was not out there in the luminous estuary, but behind him, within his brooding gloom. Okay, he is like a pilot. He resembled a pilot. It's like he's driving an airplane. They didn't have airplanes then, but he's like a boat captain. Okay, he's looking out at the ocean. He's in charge of this whole thing. I'm going to move on to where I'm starting my answers. Remember, I always want us to start with number one, whether it be 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, whatever it is, number one, right? To make sure that we won't forget. The narrator's point of view is that of, do I know the narrator's point of view right now? No. An observer, the ship's crew, another ship's captain, or a person watching from ashore. Now, what's the only one that I can take out is a person watching from ashore, because up here it said we watched his back as he stood at the bow, which is up at the front of the boat. So I know it's not that one, but I don't know anything else yet, not for sure. So I'm going to just leave that one there, take the one out, move on to number 2. Make sure, let me make this a little bigger for me. Give me 2 seconds, because all I'm seeing is Angel's name. There we go. All right. Number 2, it can reasonably be inferred. Remember, I always say that's a stop word. Stop, slow down, get this one for sure. And it's going to mean that it's not out and out telling you. It just kind of makes you think, right? That the crew most likely did not play dominoes because, okay, there was a because here, but what did they do? The crew most likely did not play dominoes because what? They were simply too tired. They did not get along well. The director would not have approved, or the sea was too rough. Okay. I usually, because at an extended time when I would have done that, because probably I'm going to hear about dominoes. If I don't read something else and tells me where dominoes is in the passage, I'm going to come back to that and find out. Oh, okay, I'll go look for the word dominoes. Oh, so sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. Which of the following are explanations given by the narrator as to why the lawyer used the ship's only cushion? Okay. What's the real question? I read it one time too. Which of the following? Okay, they're explanations given by the narrator why the lawyer used the ship's only cushion. And I do see it's going to have several different answers. So I may not read those. That's a lot of TMI, right? I'm probably going to skip that. When I hear something about a lawyer and sitting on a cushion or using a cushion, then I'm going to come back to that one. Now I'm going on to line 30, or number 4. Line 32, yay, finally now. Maybe I can get one. As is used in line 32 of the passage, the word placid most nearly means. Now, placid, I know what that means, but you may not know what it means. The first thing that comes to my mind is Lake Placid. Well, a lake is usually very calm. So I can think, That might be where we're going, but I don't know that. So I'm just going to go read line 32. And you notice this has like every 5 lines. So we go to 30, it's a couple down. For some reason or another, we did not begin the game of dominoes. Hoo-hoo, guess what? We're reading about dominoes. We felt meditative and fit for nothing but placid staring. They're tired, right? They
Yeah.
felt, yes. All right. So let's go back and answer this one up here. Why did they not do the dominoes? Because they were tired. The sea was too rough. No. The director would not approve. No. Didn't I read that? Yeah, they simply were too tired. That's the only one that can be. So we got that one. Yay. All right. But it said, and then it said, let's think about our word placid. They just wanted to sit, was fit for nothing but placid staring. If you're sitting and staring, that's just like checking out, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go back and look at that. Would it be calm, straightforward, nervous, or playful? Which ones can you get rid of for sure?
Playful
Yeah.
and nervous.
Yeah, that's the 2 I would get rid of right off the bat. Straightforward, the guy's saying straightforward, we don't want to play because we're tired. But what the word is, what is placid? It's calm.
Oh,
Yep. Lake Placid. There were the Olympics. I don't remember what year. I know I was very young. And we had the Olympics at Lake Placid, and it was just calm and quiet.
mhm.
All right. So now we got 2 of them. All right. So now let's look at number 5. How was Marlowe unlike typical seamen? How was Marlin unlike typical seamen? Now we want to know about Marlin. Did we know the guy's name yet?
No.
We don't. So who knows if Marlin is our captain or another captain? I do see Marlin over here, but I'm not sure that I'm ready to do that yet. I might just leave that alone because I noticed those answers are so long. I'm probably going to skip that and come back. I don't know for sure how to do that one yet. So probably I'm going to move on to number 6. It can reasonably be inferred from the passage that Marlowe is about to tell a story that explains, that is short, that had profound effect, or about a man he saved. We still need to know which Marlowe we're talking about. Now I know there are 2 of them. I might jump in there and go look for Marlowe, but I probably am not quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and get the ones I can. Number 7, according to the passage, how did the men aboard the Nellie feel about the director? Well, the Nellie is our boat. About the director. They said who was the director. There was a director. The director of the companies was our captain. So they're really talking about the captain, probably Marlowe. All right. They were respected him. They felt he was lazy. They despised him, or they thought he was gloomy. All right. I'm getting the hint that I need to know more about Marlowe. Because if I look at number 8, it says the reaction of the narrator to Marlowe's story can most accurately be described as malicious, resigned, genuine, sincere. All right. What I've now found is I probably need to read about Marlowe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do look down and notice, oh, here's line 15, and I probably have read close to there. I might go do number 9. According to the passage, which of the following was not an effect of the bond of sea? Let's go read line 15. Between us, there was, as I have already said somewhere, the bond between the sea. Right between us, I don't know. What did we just hear here? It was difficult to realize his work was not here, but out there, right behind him, within the gloom, the brooding gloom. Between us, there was, I have already said somewhere, the bond of the sea. Besides holding out our hearts through the long periods of separation, it had the effect of making us tolerant of each other's stories and even convictions. Okay, now I'm understanding a little more. When they talk about the bond of the sea, according to the passage, which of the following was not an effect of the bond of the sea? It allowed the men to look past each other's criminal backgrounds. Well, right off the bat, it said they would look over something, but did we hear anything about criminal backgrounds?
No.
We did not. So that might be an answer, because keep in mind, we want the not answer. All right, the men did not mind listening to each other's stories. Did we hear that? Yes. So it can't be an answer. It eased the loneliness of extended period of time away from each other. Were they gone for extended periods? Yes. The men were able to be more tolerant of each other and their beliefs. Did it say beliefs?
No.
It doesn't. So it's one of these two. I am not sure right now which of the, according to the passage, which of the following is not an effect, either that they'll look over their criminal backgrounds or their beliefs. I might leave that there because maybe I'm going to find out more later as I read. Yeah. And then if I look ahead, it says the main point, which means that's the main idea, right?
Yep.
Of the second paragraph is, well, lo and behold, we've already read the second paragraph. We can read it again to be sure. The director of the companies was our captain and host. We four affectionately watched his back as he stood in the bow looking forward toward the sea. On the whole river, there was nothing that looked half so nautical. He resembled a pilot, which to a seaman is trustworthiness, and trustworthiness personified. It was difficult to realize his work was not out there in the luminous estuary, but behind him, within the brooding gloom. Okay, in the mechanics of driving a boat. All right, you tell me, what's the main purpose of us saying that? What can you get rid of? Is he unqualified and inexperienced?
No. He is
Yeah, I don't think yeah, it said the opposite, right? He was confident. All right, I don't think we like that one. Look at Jay. The narrator and the other crew members greatly respected the ship's captain. Do they respect him? Sounds like it. Oh. Look at F. The ship's captain is better suited to be an aviator. Said he was more like a pilot, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I like F2. The captain is unaware of the great amount of hard work that lies ahead of him. No, if anything, he's overwhelmed by the work ahead of him, right? Mm-hmm. He's worried about something. All right, you tell me, what do you like better? What is the main point of this paragraph? Is it because the ship's captain is better suited to be an aviator than a sailor? Or the sailor and the other crew members greatly respect their ship's captain? What did you hear?
I heard that he was greater as a pilot.
I think so, because we don't hear that they respected him. They just said, which to a seaman is trustworthy personified. They say he's trustworthy. Yeah, I like F better. Let me see. Yep, F it is. Good. All right, now all the rest of them have to do with this Marlowe man. So why don't we just go read? Oh, actually, where we stopped reading, I see the word lawyer. Why don't we pick up right there? I'll start reading here. Between us, there was, as I have already said, somewhere the bond of the sea. Besides holding out our hearts together through long periods of separation, it had the effect of making us tolerant of each other's stories and even convictions. Okay. Convictions. If I say someone has convictions, what does that mean?
They are they have something on them, like they're convicted of murder, or like they're convicted of a situation.
Okay, I think that's where they want you to go, but I don't think that's what they're talking about. Which number was that? Yeah. Okay, well, maybe it is. Let me see.
Assumed, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think, yeah. The men look past each other's criminal. Yeah, it is. It's A, because the other one says their beliefs. We're not talking about their beliefs. We're talking about their convictions, as in that they were convicted. So number 9, the only one we really can pick is A. All right, then we're going to go back and read more, because now we got all these Marlowe ones. The lawyer, I'm in like line 19, the lawyer, the best of the old fellas, had, because of his many years, okay, so he is old, because of his many years and many virtues, so he was a good man, the only cushion on the deck, okay, he has the only cushion, and was lying on the only rug. Okay, what was that question that said about the lawyer? Oh, it's number 3. Here we go, number 3. It says, which of the following explanations given by the narrator as to why the lawyer used the only ship's cushion? He was very old. Did we hear that? Yes, we did. He could not allow anyone else to use it. Did we hear that?
No.
Was he greatly respected? Yes, it said
Yeah.
he was
Trustworthy.
yes. All right, so what is our answer? It has to be 1 and 3. The only answer it could be would be C, right? Let me double check us. 3 is C. Yes. Good. All right, then we're going to continue to read. Marlowe, like the other typical seaman. Let's see. The accountant had brought out an already box of already a box of dominoes, and was toying architecturally with the pieces. Marlowe sat cross-legged, leaning against the mast. Okay, he sat cross-legged. I don't know that tells us a lot, but that's about him. He had sunken cheeks and a yellow complexion. So what do we know? He's probably not healthy. He's skinny and not healthy, right? A straight back, and his arms dropped. The palms of his hand outwards resembled an idol. The director, oh, so is Marlowe our captain? No, Marlowe is not, is he? The director, satisfied the anchor had good hold, made his way forward and sat down amongst us. So the ship's captain sat with them. We exchanged a few words lazily. Afterwards, there was a silence on board on the yacht. For some reason or other, we did not begin to play the game of dominoes. We felt meditative and fit for nothing but placid staring. And this also, said Marlowe suddenly, had been one of the dark places of earth. He was the only man of us who still followed the sea. The worst that could be said of him was that he did not represent his class. Okay, so Marlowe did not represent his class. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it might be important. He was always the same. In their unchanging surroundings, the foreign shores, the foreign faces glide past, veiled not by the sense of mystery, but by a slightly disdainful ignorance. Yeah, that's another little hint there, isn't it? For there was nothing mysterious to the seaman unless it was the sea itself. Nothing mysterious, which is the mistress of his existence, and the inscrutable as destiny. For the rest of his hours of work, a casual stroll or a casual spree on the shore suffices to unfold him the secret of the whole continent. And generally he finds a secret not worth knowing. He doesn't want to know secrets. It's not worth his time. The stories of the seamen have a direct simplicity. All right. the whole meaning of which lies within the shell of a cracked nut. But Marlowe was not typical. Okay, why was he not typical? I know that's one of our questions. And to him, the meaning of an episode was not inside like a kernel, but the outside, enveloping the tale, which brought out only the glow that brings out the haze, in the likeness of one of these misty halos that sometimes made visible a spectrum of illumination by moonshine. Okay, he might have drank and told some stories. I think that's what I'm hearing. Let's go see. Marlowe, let's look at number 5. See what you think of it. Marlowe is not unlike typical seamen because which one can you get rid of? Number 5. Was he content to stay in one place?
No.
Nope, he moved around. So that one comes out. Marlowe believed his home was his ship, while most sailors believed their home was at sea. Did we hear anything about that? We heard it said he walked out on the beach too. So I think that kind of goes with that one. I don't like B. Marlowe found the sea inexplicable, and full of secrets. Remember, he said he didn't care about secrets, though.
Yeah.
While the typical sailor understands the mysteries of the water. That I'm not sure about. Marlowe wove complicated and ambiguous tales, while most seamen prefer to tell simple and clear tales. Uh-oh. I don't know why it's trying to cut me off. It said I needed to update. It's either C or D. What do you like there? What do we know for sure?
I think I like C.
Well, it says he found the sea inexplicable, full of secrets. Let's go back and read that part where it said something about secrets.
He doesn't like secrets.
He doesn't like secrets, and he loves the sea.
So it's D. It's D.
It's D. Gotta be. Said he wove complicated and ambiguous tales. I think he started drinking when they're talking about his misty halos of moonshine. I think he told some tall tales. Let's see if that's 5 is D. Correct. All right, you work number 6 for me. Tell me what you think. It can reasonably be inferred from the passage that Marlowe is about to tell a story. Ooh, we don't know that, do we?
Mm-mm.
We probably need to read some more. Okay, so let's go back. And I hope this Zoom is not going to cut off in 10 minutes. It gave me a warning and said I needed to update. And if it cuts off, just know that you can finish this on your own. Sorry, I hope it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Let's start at line 55. His remark did not seem at all surprising. It was just like Marlowe. Okay, what was his remark? The stories of the seamen, a direct simplicity, but the whole meaning which lies under a cracked shell. Marlowe was not typical. He liked to tell episodes. Okay, gotcha. It was accepted in silence. No one took the trouble to grunt even. And presently he said very slowly, I was thinking of very old times when the Romans first came here, 1900 years ago. And at last, in the curved and impeccable fall, the sun sank low, and from the glowing white changed to dull red without rays, without heat, as if about to go suddenly, stricken to death by the touch of the gloom of the brooding over the crowd of men. Okay, he's telling his story. Oh, I'm telling a tale about 1900 years ago. And they're probably going, oh, yeah, here we go. He's got a good tale. Marlowe broke off. Flames glided in the river. Small green flames, red flames, white flames pursuing, overtaking, joining and crossing each other. Then separately, slowly and hastily, the traffic of the great city went on, deepening into the night and the sleepless river. We looked on us, waiting patiently. There was nothing else to do, but it was only after a long silence that he said in a hesitating voice, I suppose you fellas remember I once turned freshwater into freshwater sailor for a bit. That was when we knew we were failed. We were fated. Is that what that word is? Fated. Oh, that though, like, oh, this is our fate. Before the
Mhm.
ebb began to run. To hear one of Marlowe's inconclusive experiences. Marlowe's telling a big tale. All right, so let's just go back and see if we can help ourselves. Marlowe's reaction, or the narrator's reaction to the Marlowe story, can be malicious and annoyed. Malicious. Do you know what that word means?
Uh, Mischievous.
Yeah, bad of some kind. Yes. Okay. Does our guy think he's a bad guy?
No.
No. All right. Resigned or tolerant. Is he tolerant of this guy telling the tales? Yeah. I mean, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, here he goes again. Right. I don't think it's wrong. Genuine interest. Is he really interested in this guy's story?
Not really.
Not really. I think I'd take it out too. Sincere appreciation. Does he appreciate him? No, that would be like the one above. Huh. Okay. We think it's G. Let me look. And it is G. Good job. All right. Let's go see. Number 7. According to the passage, how did the men aboard the Nellie feel about the director? Now, it's not Marlowe. We thought it was Marlowe, but it wasn't, right? They respected and trusted him. They did that, didn't they? Did they think that their boat captain was lazy?
No.
No. He sat with them, but that didn't make him lazy. He made sure everything was done first. They despised and rejected him.
No.
All right. They thought he was gloomy.
No.
Nope. I think you're right. The only thing we heard is A. Let me double check, and that is right. The only thing we heard is that they respected him. So we only have 2 more. Number 6. It can reasonably be inferred from the passage that Marlowe is about to tell a story that explains why he is now a freshwater sailor.
No.
That is short and funny, like the other stories he tells.
No.
All right. That he had a profound effect on him. Did he have a profound effect? He remembered him.
Mm-hmm.
And we've said no to the others, and I agree when you took the others out. So I'm not sure about that one. About a man he saved from drowning in a river. Did he tell a tale about a man he saved from drowning in a river? No.
No.
So while I definitely didn't like that one, but it's just not wrong. It is H. Very nice. So now we just have 1 to go. From the narrator's point of view, or the narrator's point of view is that of an observer, a member of the ship's crew, another ship's captain, and we already said not that one. What else can we take out?
Maybe the ship's captain.
Right.
A member. I'd say a member of ship's crew is kind of hard, but I do want to remove that.
Okay.
And A would be the correct answer.
Some observer. Yeah, because, and I totally agree. And I think it's not a ship's captain because it's said in the, we 4 affectionately watched his back as we stood in the back. Something made me think that they're like onlookers. And the whole river, there was nothing that looked half so nautical. Yeah, it's more of an observer. Now, do you know what an omnipotent observer means?
He observes all, like all the things.
There you go. God is omnipotent. He's everywhere, right? That would be how this observer is. He can see everything. But I like that you could just go straight to observer and not worry about the word you didn't know, because I'm going to say it's A. I didn't check it yet. Yeah. Okay. So that's 1 right there. Make it bigger, smaller. Sorry. All right. Can you print out this that I sent, or can you see it on a computer if I, so that you can use it?
Yeah, I could print it out, but I can't. I don't think I can do it today.
Oh, and that's no big deal. I just want to make sure you can at some point. Yes. And then I also, if you go in the Google Classroom, I can give you the, well, tell you what I'll do. I'll send you, you sent me that message about your ID, right?
Hold on.
You will when we get done. Here's the answer key. Are you on your computer now? Or phone?
I'm on my phone.
All right, can you screenshot that?
Can you put it in a little closer?
Yep.
I can't. It's a little blurry.
Is that better?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so there's the answers to the rest. Obviously, I should have done it this way. You don't have to worry about those. It was just the reading side, right? Just that
Yep.
first side. Yeah, and then print the rest and then get a chance to check those. Yep, it says I have less than a minute and it's going to cut me off. So we did good to finish. And you actually had some really good instincts there. That was good. Are you feeling pretty confident? I know you've been staying pretty high up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Great. Well, I'll see you on Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. See you then, because I think I had 30 seconds and it's going to cut me off.
Okay.
Take care. Send me a message and with your ID, and I'm going to send it over and see if we can work with that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye, Angel. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.